A few months ago, I did a controversial video addressing a Nigerian commenter named Lucky Isile. And in that video, I gave an African American's perspective on Nigerians. And of course, the video was not without great controversy. The points that I made concerning the current state of Nigerians in America and abroad, all of that which I said was factual. I lost some subscribers behind it. I received some nasty emails behind it. But I had to be balanced in my diagnosis of those Nigerians who think they're much better than African Americans. But we got to be fair. I got to be somewhere in the middle. I can't tilt too far to the left. Because the Nigerians have a reason why they don't like you Negroes. And I had to sit and listen to the other side of the story. Because after I had made that video concerning Nigerians, I had to really hear the other side of the story to see why the Nigerians don't like African Americans. And after hearing that, I'd have to say, I wouldn't like your black ass either. And I have to rescind some of the things that I said, even though it was true. I have to rescind the motive. And I'm going to tell you why. And before I go ahead, I'm going to say I'm still proud to be an African American. I will first and foremost always be an African American. That is my tribe of people. It is. If I had a tribe, I'm an African American first. That's who I identify with. That's who my ancestors belong in the struggle with. That's who I identify with. But I got to be fair. And somebody's going to say, well, Oshay, how can you say this? How can you say? First of all, let's go back to 1960s. We got to start there. Because in the 60s, we saw a worldwide revolution of black people trying to get liberation from one common enemy, the white government. You had your South Africans dealing with apartheid. You had your Southerners, Medgar Evers in Mississippi. We had Martin Luther King in Alabama and Georgia. We had Kwame Nkrumah in Ghana. Joseph Kenyatta in Kenya. We had a worldwide epidemic of people, black people as a whole, a Pan-African movement kind of coming together, spearheaded by people like Marcus Garvey, W.E.B. Du Bois. All around the world, black people were seeking liberation. And then we have people like Malcolm X challenging the black man, saying, who are you? Where do you come from? Giving pride to black people. Then here's the emergence of the Black Panther Party. Huey Newton out of Oakland, California, adding further fuel to the fire. The black identity. We had black women, black men rejecting the ideal looks of the conch hairstyle. We had the natural hairstyle. We were trying to embrace our heritage. But the issue is, in Africa, we see the people from former United Kingdom colonies immigrating into America. Now, many of these people were integrating into historically black colleges. Black colleges started by black people, or at least white people, and then ran by black people. Like Booker T. Washington started at Tuskegee. Here you see Nigerians fleeing from Nigeria, a few military coups. We have the Biafra War going on from 67 to 1970. Nigeria is unstable. So we see Nigerians going to either London or United Kingdom or to America. We see our first Ghanaians coming to America. Kwame Nkrumah is ousted in 66. Here come some Liberians coming over to study to America. So now we see the first siege of young African revolutionaries in the mindsets during this whole time and era, first coming into contact with this African American shine. I got to steal David Carroll's word real quick. This African American shine. And I'm calling you shines because I'm going to tell you exactly why y'all are shines. When the African came over to America, he would listen to James Brown. He was proud that he was finally there to see his black brothers and sisters in America. He felt, and she felt, I'm talking about African women and African men, they felt that when they came here, they would be accepted. Many of them came here getting scholarships for chemistry, chemical engineering, biology, things that you Negroes don't typically like to major in. So the Africans were coming over here and studying and doing well, but they also wanted to be accepted by their African American brothers. And when they met you Negroes that had on your fake ass kufis and your dashikis and stuff, when you met the real African, you called him an African booty scratcher. Oh, yes, you did. You called him an African booty scratcher. You made fun of how he dressed because, many of them coming over to America at first, they didn't have any money. They were poor people. They were just smart. Many of them had to get full rides to come over here. So instead of you embracing your black brother, you made fun of him. Yes, you Negroes did. You did. I know that you did. You made fun of your Yorubas, your Igbo people, your Ghanaians, your Liberians. You made them feel as if they were stupid, less than. And I know y'all did this because I know how you African Americans carried out in Liberia when you went over there. So I already know the Nigerians is not lying when they say this. Yes, you Negroes did that. You did. Instead of you connecting with your history, you shunned it. For those Nigerians that came over to America, indeed, they were hurt. Talked about every day by you Negroes. You dumb, silly, stupid Negroes. And while you were out partying, buffooning, and cooning, and doing and talking shit about people, they were studying. Like I'm about to be in a minute. They were studying. And the way they got back at you is they didn't call you really that many names. But they did come out with a name for you shines. For you black buffoons. They came out with a name for you, all right. To describe you in your fucked up lifestyle. In your mindset. You know what they called you? AKATA. AKATA. And when they graduated and when they became doctors, and they went and married in between themselves, or went back to their country and got them a wife and came back, then they went and brought some of the other folks back, went and brought some of their brothers and their sisters and put them to school. And you know what they told them? Don't you ever have a relationship with that African American nigger. That's what they said. Not only did they tell their brothers and sisters that when they had kids, they said, don't you ever fuck with that African American Negro. He is a shine. Don't ever fuck with him. That is a AKATA. Oh, yes, they did. They said that. And what do you know? All of their kids started kicking your kids' ass. Yes, they did. Now, they don't want nothing to do with you now. To get that straight. The Nigerians and the Ghanaians that live here, they don't want nothing to do with you black-ass, stupid, retarded African Americans who think like this. They don't fuck with y'all. But what they will do is they'll play the double race card. They don't want to fuck with y'all, but they don't have no problem sending their kid to Howard University School of Medicine. Even though they hate your African American ass. They don't have no problem doing that. They'll send them to Meharry. They'll send them to Hampton. They'll accept the benefits of being an African American, but they don't want to fuck with you because of how you have treated them over the years. And even their kids have talked about how they came to this country and they tried to assimilate with you black buffoons and you called them names. Now they don't fuck with you. I don't want to fuck with you either. But I want to say something to you Nigerians because I got to get back on you. Because African Americans, a lot of y'all are stupid. When you see an African person in America, you'll be a fool to make fun of them. That is your chance to get to know about who your culture really is. Because you're fucked up. The only way the African American has any chance of healing himself is to find his real identity through African culture. That is the only way. And if you talk about one of your African brothers like that are trying to make it, you're a fool. Now, even me, I have my own personal feelings about Nigerians too. Even though I'm more closer to Nigerians than anybody else. But I gotta accept their side of the story as being true because I know how idiotic and stupid Negroes are. I know y'all dumb. Y'all would do something like that. In the culture and the type family values that many Nigerians have in America, black people can benefit from that. But guess what? Our own black brothers have been so fed up with our bullshit, they don't want to fuck with y'all. They would rather their daughter marry a white man than to bring a AKATA home. This is how y'all act. And the Nigerian, he's too, now I got to get back to Nigerian. You too stupid to realize the white men don't like your motherfucking ass either. Because the Nigerian and the African American to the white man is a nigga. I know some of y'all not gonna like what I'm saying. I'm warming up. I'm preaching right now. Oh, somebody need to get on the organ. I'm preaching today. Both of y'all are considered niggas to the white man. Both of y'all. And the African in America cannot get to where he is unless the African American had laid the ground. I don't care what you Nigerians said. You would not be shit had the African American not laid the ground for you to be here. Many of the schools you go to, you benefited off of, that was the fight of African Americans. African Americans have fought harder than any black people in the world to do what they do. When y'all got y'all independence from England, it was nothing like what the African Americans have done. Nothing. 105 black colleges set up. Many Nigerians have been educated at those institutions. I bet you can't name one African American educated in Nigeria. So Nigerians have no fucking right to feel like they're better than blacks. And also, you black ignorant Negroes in America, you African Americans, you are not going to get stabilized unless you take that culture from them Nigerians. The Nigerians have the answer to a stable family structure. Yes, they do. They know how to produce highly skilled workforce children. They know how to produce good dynasties. Yet you're too stupid to realize that both of y'all need each other. Y'all both stupid to me. I'm sorry. Nigerians dumb as fuck and African Americans dumb as fuck because you both need each other. Oh, yes, you do. I'm proud to be an African American. But don't you know we all come, most of us, in America, all are Biafrans, come from the Igbos for the majority? We need each other. I know many Nigerians in America are doing very well. And you brag about how good you're doing in medical school, how good you're doing in law school, and you brag about this, black excellence. And guess what? You haven't started a hospital nowhere in America. There's no Nigerian hospital. You haven't started no private universities. You haven't started a private university in Nigeria that teaches on American curriculum. So the Nigerians in America haven't also done shit for Nigeria, I feel, on a major scale of things. And what the Nigerians don't understand also is once you stay here and you get citizenship, you become an African American. I know y'all don't want to, I know y'all hate that part. You become an African American. There is no Nigerian American. There is no Ghanaian American. Once you get that passport, you are African American, whether you like it or not. You may graduate medical school, you may graduate engineering school, but if you don't do shit for your country, when your country has the 21st out of 54 literacy rate in the world, you can't brag to me about shit. And the Nigerians cannot do it by themselves. The African American can't do it by himself. We both need each other. That's my new assessment. That's my new assessment. I was one-sided at first, but when I found out how you Negroes have treated them Africans when they came here, oh yeah, I knew they was telling the truth. But the African and the African American got to understand both of our struggles. We need to understand both of our cultures. And we need to pick the good up in each and leave the bad. I know y'all don't like what I'm talking about right now, because somebody is hurt on both sides. The Africans have the language of the forefathers. They can teach it to us. We can learn it. We can implement it. We don't have a real culture without that language. We need that language. Especially if it's Igbo. And I just had to say that and get that off my chest. Because from the Nigerian standpoint, or the African standpoint, the way you Negroes have treated your black brothers that come here, y'all are fools, man. When you ever see a black African in America, or if you see one in Europe, there are somebody if you see them. If I'm in Poland, I see an African or a Nigerian, I know he's somebody. Because he wouldn't be there if he wasn't nobody. You can't get into America as no poor Nigerian and you don't have no job skill. Either you in America, if you poor as a Nigerian, you in medical school or something. You're doing something great. Somebody has paid for you to be there. You somebody doing some real shit. The average Nigerian can't even come to America. So if you find a Nigerian in America or a Ghanaian in America, you take them in and treat them kind, man. You never know when you're going to need somebody. Whenever I meet somebody in Poland and they're Nigerian, I know they're somebody. Because they wouldn't be here if they were. If they was not, they wouldn't be here. You Negroes make me sick in America. That's why they call us AKATA. That's why. At the end of the day, we share the same common ancestors. The African Americans and the Nigerians. And we really share the same enemy. And you know who the same enemy is? It's not the white man. The same enemy is ourselves. I'm going to let you think on that last part. And as you know, the buffoonery is at an all-time high.